guys, it's Tinker Taylor here today, bringing you back another Pokemon build series video. Today we have, I believe it's pronounced Xatu. I'm probably saying it wrong. I feel like I'm saying every Pokemon name wrong at this point, and it's probably, yeah, like a 50-50 chance on whether I'm gonna get them right. I feel like the more obvious ones, not the more obvious ones, but like the more popular ones, I definitely get a lot more correct because I hear them more often. But yeah, some of these other ones I absolutely do not get right. But yeah, this Pokemon is a Psychic Flying type. It looks like... Imagine if somebody made a mascot for a bird. Like a wearable mascot. It's kind of vaguely that shaped. And I guess... I don't know why you'd have a... Well, I mean, mascots can be anything, so I guess, yeah, it kind of makes sense you could. And yeah, I was just reading up about this Pokemon a little bit before I started this voiceover, and yeah, apparently this Pokemon is found in the jungles of South America, so yeah, not Central America, but South America only. And it apparently stands very still and watches the sun. And it's theorized that it can see the future with its right eye and the past with its left, and that it's afraid to move because if it does, it could cause it to become true, or I don't know. I read it, and then it almost immediately fell out of my head. So yeah, my memory and remembering things I just remembered and just read, it's yeah. Not all there, not all great, especially when it's, yeah, getting a little bit late. But, yeah, I did enjoy doing this build. It is a little bit similar to yesterday's build, but I actually wanted to furnish one and make it into a house and also make it slightly longer. So this one is slightly longer than the one that I built yesterday. And I did do the stairs slightly differently, so they should be functional. I have not play tested them, but I believe they should be functional. There are 3 sets of stairs, so at least one of them should be. And I tried to do that on purpose so that, yeah, if some of the items that I put around the stairs were getting in the way, that there was at least one set of stairs that did work. And yeah, I don't know, I had a lot of fun with this build. It was a little frustrating at first trying to get everything to line up. So I kind of just, yeah, make up some weird different patterns and whatnot to try and force it to match up and fit and whatnot, and it kind of sort of maybe does to a kind of sort of maybe degree, but yeah, I don't know, I've been having a lot of fun with this series. We're nearly at 200. We're like, yeah, a month-ish, under a month I would say, away from getting to build number 200, which is so super exciting. Like, what do you mean 200? That is just under 20% of the way through. It's kind of insane. I cannot believe we're so far through this series already. I don't know, it's just like one of those things where it's a big project and you know it's a big project, and then you get it started and then you realize, like, I'm already like halfway through. Well, I'm not halfway through it, but you know, like I'm getting a good chunk of the way through it. That's kind of crazy. So yeah, definitely if you're enjoying this series or you want to see more stuff like this, more builds like this, or you know, you're waiting for a certain Pokemon or whatever, definitely make sure to subscribe. I do come out with a new video pretty much every single day. It's just not the last couple of days of February. And I actually don't do this Pokemon series in February. I do a build challenge. It's a build and cast challenge. If you want to hear more about it, it is the A to Z challenge, and it is linked down below in the description. It's a little challenge I made a couple of years ago. And yeah, I don't know, it's something that's really, really fun and interesting and whatnot, and I'm definitely getting started early because, yeah, like I said, I post that stuff in February, but they're big builds, they take a long time, so yeah, I'm getting started now. So some of the builds you'll see next year are happening right now, which is kind of a little bit exciting but also a little bit stressful because I'm trying to stay ahead and I'm very much not ahead. Like I'm on track, I'm on time, I'm just, yeah, not ahead, and that can be a problem sometimes. because I do really need to get ahead. There was at one point where I was like a week ahead in builds, and I don't know what happened. I think that was when I went away for the wedding in April, and we're now in July, at the end of July, and I still haven't caught up, so yeah. But that's the goal, and I'm trying not to stress myself out too much about it, because the more I stress about it, the harder it is for me to concentrate, the less likely it is to happen. So yeah, I'm kind of just taking one day at a time, and you know what, being on track, it's fine. Being on track means you're still chugging along at a good little pace. So yeah, definitely gonna have a little look into trying to get ahead and be a bit more better at being productive. But yeah, no, I'm still having a good little time building and messing around and whatnot. Now, this build here, it is technically 3 stories, but I only make it 2 instead of 3. You definitely could extend down another floor if you really wanted to, but I did not. So yeah, if you do end up downloading this build, it will be completely empty on the ground floor, and the entry level is on the 3rd floor, 2nd floor, I don't know. You have to go up all the way to the top and then go down. So if you are somebody who's probably using it for gameplay and you work off the lot, maybe don't get this build, because it might take your sim 157,000 years to actually get to any place ever. But if you play with a sim on this lot and you don't really go anywhere or leave the lot all that often, or like have to go up and down these stairs a lot, then I'm sure it'll be fine. It is a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. There are also no doors on this build, so there are archways and there are just like open spaces that have nothing, like no doors, nothing. Yeah, it's definitely a very interesting build. I don't know. I feel like I kept it open because if you were actually living in a place like this, you would probably want good airflow or good ability to have airflow. I imagine if you did actually live somewhere like this, there would be like secret vents and stuff like that, so there was good airflow. But since this is The Sims and that's not really a thing, and it doesn't really matter whether or not I did do completely open builds or not. But I don't know, I feel like it's also something completely different, you know? Like, sometimes when you build, I don't know, like, everybody puts doors. It's something that just, it's everywhere. So I thought, why not do something, you know, a little bit different? There are some other builds that I've done in the past. I say some, I can only really think of one right now. Shermie Bear's Banana Split Shell is a build that I did last year. And with that one, there's no doors as well. There are archways, there is a front door, there's a back door, but interior wise, there are no doors whatsoever. Not even into the toilet. Like there's not a single. That one had a separate toilet. Like there was a big old bathroom area where there was a shower room, a little toilet room, potentially even a room with a bath, and they were all coming off this main bathroom area that had the sinks. But they had no doors, so yeah, it's kind of like a super open space. In the fact that yes, if somebody was on the toilet, you would hear them no matter really where you were in the house, which I'm not gonna lie, not a pleasant idea, not a pleasant thought. I don't like that. But if you live alone, not really an issue. You can poop to your heart's content with not having to worry about listening to anybody or being listened to by anybody. I'm a very shy toilet person. Like I don't like people hearing what I do. So yeah, when I'm like in a public bathroom or whatever, if it's that medium level noise, I get very anxious. But if it's like super empty or super full, I'm fine. Super empty means no one can hear you because there's no one there. Or if there's just one person, like I can live with that. But if there is a bajillion people there, no one can hear you. So, you know, it's fine. But yeah, if there's like a lull in the noise, it makes me super anxious. Like everyone can hear me and they know what I'm doing, and I don't know why I'm like that, because going to the toilet is something we all do. You know, everybody poops. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think it comes from living at uni and, like, you know, knowing everybody and using these communal bathrooms and, like, everybody hearing what you can do. It's like, I don't want people who know me to know any of that sort of stuff about me. You know, it's a little bit too personal. Although there was one individual at uni who would take phone calls on the toilet and just not mute themselves. So that was very interesting. So yeah, if you're somebody who answers the phone on the toilet, I'm very unsure as to how I feel. No, actually, you know what? I'm very sure how I feel about that. That's odd. It's very odd. It's extremely weird in my opinion. And if you're ever calling me, please do not do it from the toilet, or mute yourself at least. Like, if it's a super important conversation and you really have to listen and you really have to go to the bathroom, just mute yourself, please. Like, that's just, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Okay? You just be like, you know, keep talking, I'm on the toilet. Cool, great, I'll keep talking. I don't want to know. I don't want to hear it. You know, at the last place I lived, the toilet was basically on the wall behind the head of my bed. So if anybody went to the toilet in the middle of the night, I would hear everything. I would hear all of it. And that's just not very pleasant when you're trying to sleep, you know? Trying to relax, wind down, and yep, suddenly somebody is pooping right beside my head. It's definitely not a thing that makes me feel rested and relaxed and, you know, ready for bed. But anyway, I'm pretty sure none of you came here to hear about toilet troubles. But yeah, the bathroom in here I really struggled with the mirrors because the bathroom sinks. I don't know if you guys have ever really used those, but they have really high backs to them and a lot of mirrors did not want to work with it. So I just ended up picking, I don't remember if these ones are base game or not. You probably saw, if you go back like 5 or 10 seconds, you probably see which ones I picked, like where they came from. But I had to raise them up slightly. If you don't know, raising up an item, you can use the 9 key, and it'll raise it up. But you might also see that before, when I was raising something else up, I used a different method, and that was using Tool, which is a mod. If you are thinking, should I get Tool mod, should I not? My recommendation is yes. Absolutely. Please check it out if you can. If you cannot, then don't worry about it. Ignore everything I'm about to say. But if you can and you're interested and you're thinking about it, check it out. It's amazing. And Better Build By. I also use Better Build By. So the links for them are both down below. I do believe the links are actually slightly outdated, but they will take you to the place in which that's the Patreon for Twisted Mexi, who is the creator of these mods. And yeah, I really, really, really like these mods. And the best thing is, like, they don't change anything within the game that, you know, you guys would have to have Tool as well. You just have to have move objects on. I always recommend having move objects on. Like, no matter what build you're downloading, if you think it needs move objects or not, just chuck it in. Make sure you've got move objects on. And yeah, the one thing though with Better Build By, it has it automatically in there that you can pick to have move objects on. So I just constantly have it on, as well as debug and live edit. So you might see some items within my game that you might not necessarily see within yours, or you might have to go through the debug menu or live edit menu to find it. Better Build By just kind of reorganizes it a little bit better. Just make sure if you are updating mods, you uninstall them properly, because I did not. I do it every time. Every time it's like, please uninstall properly, and I go, oh yeah, no, it'll be fine. I'll just rip it out and patch it up with the new one. And then I wonder why it doesn't work. It's because you need to install mods properly. So please always follow the instructions, because yeah, I was complaining about it. Oh, I wouldn't say complaining about it. I was just confused as to why I couldn't see the debug items and the live edit items from Get to Fairies, Get to Nature, that pack. So yeah, I just make sure to follow said instructions, and I feel like that comes to everything, you know, like the if there's an instruction there, it's probably there for a reason, you know. It's why they put the little labels on the, you know, the little, I don't know what they're called, but the little packet things that come with like food and other stuff that I was like, hey, don't eat this because it's really bad for you to eat. Like that label's there so that you don't eat it. You know, we have little instructions like that for a reason. But anyway, so yeah, this build we're pretty close with finishing up. I do just add a few items outside. So there is a barbecue, little seating area, some what are these called, planters, an easel, and a telescope. I think that's all I put outside. But yeah, this build is a little bit build restricted. Wow. Can you tell I'm tired? This build is slightly pack restricted. It only has 7 kits and or packs. It's also, I don't know, I feel like with some of these pack restricted ones, like I don't use a lot of all of the things that I use, so this is the only artist studio item I use. The easel, I think the werewolves is the same. I think I only use the telescope. So for example, if you don't have those two, it's fine because you don't need all of it. I think the bathroom clutter kit, I just use a toothbrush holder thing, because most of the bathroom is jungle adventure or base game. I use the base game toilet, jungle adventure shower, bath, and sink. I can't remember what mirror I use, but yeah, like if you just want pretty restricted, like it, I would say yeah, the jungle adventure was probably used the most in here, and maybe I used like some art. Yes, vampires, I used a piece of art. So that's already 4 packs and kits out of the 7 that I can only identify 1 item that was used. Business and hobbies, I'm pretty sure it was just a rug as well. Could not tell you what the horse ranch was though. But yeah, it's a pretty pack restricted build. I didn't intentionally do that, but also kind of intentionally did with the exterior. So the exterior should just be jungle adventure. And I would say a majority of the interior is also jungle adventure. It's pretty restricted like that, and I'm pretty happy, you know. I do, like I said before, I don't know if I said it, I've recorded this part like 6 times, but yeah, I think 4 is probably a happy medium with like, is it pack restricted or not? I think 4 is my happy number. But anyway, yeah, we're at the end here, so yeah, if you like to see more stuff like this, like I said earlier, make sure to subscribe. I love and appreciate you all. I hope you have a wonderful time zone, and I have started this outro way too early, but yeah, no, I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.